good evening, my brothers and sisters. How you doing this beautiful evening? Come on to the dinner table. Your brother Tony, he got the table set and he's ready to feed you some good soul food tonight. It's gonna be good tonight, my brothers and sisters. This is gonna be an in-depth, brief conversation. I know I always say brief and sometimes short, but this is gonna be a very detailed and hopefully a very brief meal we going to indulge on this evening. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship basically from a spiritual perspective. When I say spiritual, I believe strongly that in a relationship, that man and woman must have God in the middle of the relationship. That's what I'm talking about. And that's my position. If you come to the dinner table and you have another point of view about a relationship, you have what is called a free will. You could do whatever you choose to do. But I'm letting you know, I come basically from a biblical perspective. When you look in the book of Genesis, God created the man Adam first. He had a unique relationship with the man Adam. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, he represented the woman to the man Adam. And in the presence of God, Adam said in reference to the woman Eve, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. And that's where I come from. How you doing, Sister Flo Harvey Martin? I see you at the dinner table. And I would like for you, brother and sister, to know that I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. I may talk to some of you on the book, and those of you that are on the tube, you may not see the comments. And those of you that are on the tube, when I make a comment towards you, the ones on the book, they may not see the comments, but I see it. We are all family here. So my brother and sister, I encourage you to go ahead and invite some more family members and friends. You could like and share, make your comments. And I would like for you all, if you want to talk more on one another, you can do that as long as it pertains to what we're talking about at the dinner table. How you doing, Sister Angie B? And I see Sister Flo Harvey Martin. I see that you all at the dinner table. Come on in, the rest of you, brother. Come on in, the rest of you, sister. And I'm encouraging you, brother and sister. You could really get something out of it. If you don't believe in a relationship between a man and woman, I still encourage you to sit at the dinner table and get something to meal because you can get something out of it. So come on in. How you doing, mother? She's at the dinner table. So we're about to get into this menu tonight. And on what I'm serving tonight is called, if you're in a relationship, why are you hanging in the streets? I was thinking about talking about something else tonight, but I believe strongly that the Lord changed my mind. So I'm going to talk about this particular topic, and what I was going to talk about earlier today, that's going to be moved to tomorrow, Lord's willing. Okay, so we're going to concentrate on, if you're in a relationship, why are you hanging in the streets? And now a question, my brothers. So this is the question. How can a man or woman that claims to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with someone, how can that man or woman do not make quality time with that person that he or she claimed to be their mate? So at the dinner table tonight, we're going to really get into this particular topic tonight. Now, before we get into this particular topic, there are two passages that I need to expound to you, brother, sister. Not explain, but expound. Sister Angie B, Sister Angie B, thank you, sister. She said, good topic, even though I'm single. But it applies to the single and the married people, okay? So listen up, my brother, sister. Now, we're going to go to God's word first. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say something what Jesus said, okay? Listen to what Jesus said. Remember, we're talking about, if you're in a relationship, why are you hanging in the streets? How you doing, Sister Sherry Smith? Welcome to the dinner table. Now we're going to go to John 14:3. Again, this John 14:3. John 14:3. Now Jesus, the Lord, he's doing the talking. It said, as it is written, and if I go prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, and you also may be where I am. Now listen to what Jesus said. Thank you, Sister Sherry E. Smith. Jesus said, if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, and you may be where I am. What is Jesus talking about? Jesus is talking about an in-depth relationship with those of us that believe in him. Jesus wants an exclusive relationship with us. He goes to prepare a place, and he said he's going to come back and take us where he's at so we could be with him. That's called quality time. As a matter of fact, that's eternal quality time. Now, Jesus is setting a standard when it comes to a relationship. Now, where does Jesus want to take us? Jesus said, I'm going to prepare a place. Jesus got a place to take us, right? So what is that place to us? His home. Jesus going to prepare a home, not a house, but a home. And then I'm going to read this other passage to you before I get really into this content. What I just read to you, this is the appetizer, and this is a little more of the appetizer. When we look in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, 9 through 12. Again, this is Ecclesiastes 9 through 12. Ecclesiastes 9 through 12. King Solomon was inspired to write these words. So listen very carefully, my brother and sister. Listen very carefully. It's a two are better than one. Now, these God's word, this is not Tony's word. These are God's word. It said two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, and he has not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, that means laying on the bed together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two can withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Now, Jesus just made a direct statement, and he influenced King Solomon through the Spirit to talk about two are better than one. That means togetherness, okay? It means togetherness. It means exclusive. It means quality time, my brothers and sisters, quality time. Now, quality time, my brothers and sisters, it is clearly defined as spending time giving another person's an undivided attention in order to strengthen a relationship. You understand? Quality time, my brothers and sisters, is defined as spend in giving another person. This means that you're unselfish. You give another person one undivided attention in order to strengthen a relationship. So in order to strengthen a relationship, my brother and sister, you have to invest time. It's just like this, my brother and sister. If you are in a cabin on a cold winter night, and you're in a house, the inside of the house is the home. How do you warm the home if it's in the middle of the winter, a cold winter night? How are you going to keep warm? You put logs in the fireplace. And the more you put logs in the fireplace, the fire going to keep burning. If you do not put fire if you do not put logs in the fire, what's going to happen? It's going to go out. Listen to that concept. If you do not put logs in the fire is going to go out. So that means you got to work. If you want to stay warm, you got to work. If you want to strengthen your home, you got to work. Now, remember the topic that we're talking about. The topic is, if you're in a relationship, why are you hanging out in the streets? Now, my brother and sister, have you ever observed, listen to this, my brother and sister, have you ever observed a man or a woman that cannot stay at home? Just think about it. I guarantee you, my brothers and sisters, thank you, Sister Cheryl Smith. I know, my brother and sister, that you know of some man or some woman, he or she cannot stay at home. They have to always be out in the street. Now, have you ever wondered why a man or woman can't stay at home? Have you ever wondered? Let's just think about that. Let's ponder over that. Why can a man or woman cannot stay at home? And you all know some of these people. You know them. What is it about being at home they can't do? A man or woman that cannot stay at home, there's some internal problems with that man or woman. It's something in that man or woman. So the folks say, yes, I have observed this woman who run in the streets. And some of you brothers and sisters, when you look at social media, now don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with taking a vacation or getting out. It's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with it. But let me tell you something, my brother and sister. When you go on a vacation, it's some excitement that when you go on a vacation, right? But you see, when you go on a vacation, it's normally going to be a short duration of time. How you doing, Sister Deborah Scott? Went to the dinner table. But when you see, but when you with someone that you in love with, and you take a vacation, it's far better. Because guess what? It's not reaching the destination. That's not the fun part. The fun part is the journey. The journey with that man or woman from the beginning throughout the journey, and then you reach your destination. When you get your destination, what you're going to eventually start thinking? You're going to start thinking like Dorothy. You remember Dorothy on the Wizard of Oz? What did Dorothy used to say? There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And brother and sister, you know this is the truth. It ain't nothing like your own bed. You could go on a trip or vacation and you could go sleep in a very comfortable bed, but there's nothing more comfortable than your own bed, meaning at home. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying this about a man or a woman, especially a man or a woman that's in a relationship. If a man or a woman claim to be in a relationship and that man cannot stay home with his woman, if that woman cannot stay at home with her husband, that's a problem. I'm not saying be with that person 24/7, 7 days a week, because every now and then you need a break, brother, and every now and then you need a break, sister. But after your relationship with God, my brother, and after your, hold on for a moment, because somebody about to call. I got to turn this phone off. Hold on. Because they will call. They know I do my, they know that it's dinner time, but they don't care. They don't be caring. But I'm here with you, family. Now, my brother and sister, when it comes to a relationship, if a man is in a relationship with a woman and he stay out in the street, that's a big problem. It's a very big problem, especially if the woman is a good woman. Now, if a woman stay out in the street and the man is a good man, there is a problem with that woman. What that tells you, my brother and sister, that man or that woman that compelled to go out there, is something deep within that man or woman that there's no contentment there. See, Apostle Paul, he made a statement like this. He said And it was like, Paul, you have to learn to be content, brother and sister. You got to learn to be content. When you get into a relationship, brother, with a woman, sister, when you get into a relationship with a man, you have to learn to be content with that person, especially if God bring a person in your life. You have to learn to be content. That's what happened a lot of time when God when God calls you to find a woman, and sister, when God calls a man to find you, why would you be compelled to stay out in the streets? What's out in the streets? Let's think about it, my brother and sister. When you're in a relationship, what really is out there in the streets? There's nothing out there in the streets. And I could tell you, my brother and sister, some of you bear witness because some of you have been out there before. I have been out there in the streets, my brother and sister. But let me tell you this. When I used to go to the clubs when I was young and in college, when I used to hang out the club, I used to be in the club, my brother and sister. I would be down there Tuesday, I would be down there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday sometime. But when I was there, I still didn't feel quite in place. You know what I mean? I went there, but I still really didn't I felt out of place. I could tell you this, some of my brothers, some of those of you that used to be in clubs and you didn't go no more, they're just an example. I guarantee you, if you just so happen to go to a club right now, you're going to see someone that still been in the club and he or she been there all the while. They never stop. I'm telling you, I'm not saying not going to no club, but my thing is, when you see somebody out there like that, what is it that driving that person to live in there? What drives a man or a woman, if you got a mate, what drives you to keep going out to different other places? Sister Angela B said, I felt out of place too back in the day. So Sister Angela B know exactly what I'm talking about. You feel out of place. Some people feel in place in those type of environments and others don't. You know what I mean? So when you are in a relationship, brother, with a woman, and she's a good woman, what's in that club or what's out there in the world, the streets, that going to take away your time from your woman? Because, brother, if you have a good woman and you taking away your time from her, do you not realize you cannot make up time? And some of you sisters, if you have a good man, what compels you to want to stay out in the streets? You cannot make up time that's lost. You cannot. And it's not, and brother, let me tell you this. If you got some guy friends, you got to let those guy friends know that your woman come before them. You understand? They may call you hen pet, they may call you all that, they may call you blank whoop. You can fill in the line, you can fill in the blank. Some of those guys would call you blank whoop, and you know what I'm talking about. Brothers, do not listen to these guys, because the guys that be telling you stuff like you blank whoop and you scared to be out and all that kind of stuff, don't let them, because most of the time when guys tell you that, their relationship, if they have a relationship, is on the rocks, or they ain't got no relationship. So, brothers, do not let these guys, even your guy friend, try to pull you out there in the world, in the street with them when you got a good woman. And you sisters, if you got a good man, don't listen to your girlfriend that be saying, he got too much, he's controlling. You know, they trying to put that psych stuff on you. He's to control it. He's suffocating you and all that kind of crap. Sister, do not listen to these women that try to compel you to hang with them. Because another thing, they probably going through a series of men and they're not in a relationship, or they in a relationship that's on the rock. So do not listen to these type of people. Be careful who you hang with, my brother and sister. Oh yeah, that's right, Sister Angie B. They will call you hen peck. Some of you brothers, some of these guys, they will call you hen peck. You are not hen peck. You have wisdom, brother, because you understand the priority. The priority is God first, your relationship with God, and that sacred relationship, and then again, your relationship with your woman, especially if you are in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship. Do not let the streets pull you out there. And sister too, do not let the street pull you out there when you're in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with your man. You should not do it, because what's out there in the street? Let's just think about it, brother and sister. What really out there in the street? Is there really any excitement out there? Just think of this. Just think of this, brother and sister. Brother, just think about you spending quality time with your woman. Now, let's talk about quality time and being out on the street. Men, you supposed to be the leader. Men, you supposed to lead. Men, you supposed to lead by example. And what is your example, brother? Let's see the example. The greatest example, and you know, when it comes to a relationship, especially a marriage, a man's supposed to walk just like Jesus walked, because Jesus had a relationship with the church. And the relationship, and I have said it before, and you all know this, when it comes to the church, Jesus is like the bridegroom right now. And when he comes back for the rapture, it's going to be a wedding. So he becomes the husband. The church is like the bride. When Jesus comes and the church meet the Lord in the air, the bride becomes what? The wife. And you enter into the marriage, and that's supposed to be bonding. That means the Lord take you out of the world and to be with him at home. So, brother, that's what you're supposed to walk just like Jesus. When you express your relationship with a woman, what you're trying to do, you're trying to take her out of the world. You're going to show her that it's better to be with you than out there in the world that just wastes your time. When you out there in the world, my brother and sister, you're wasting your time. That's right, Sister Flo. Men supposed to lead. So that's why I'm talking to you, brother, first. Brothers, listen to my voice. If you have a good woman, learn that woman. Just like the Lord said, he know the numbers of the hairs on your head. That's intent. That's how intensified you have to be with your woman. I'm not telling you to go count the strings on your woman's head, but what I'm telling you, you supposed to learn your woman. And how you going to learn your woman when you out in the streets? You can't. And then, sister, the same thing too. How can you learn your man if you out there in the streets? Even, let me tell you this, what is a home? It's a difference between a house and a home. A house is what you live in. The home is the living on the inside of the house. You understand? So, brother, when you get to the point when God calls you to find the right woman, not a perfect woman, when God calls you to find the right woman, and sister, when God calls the right man to find you, even though he's not perfect, when God put you, when God handpicked you, brother, and when God handpicked you and bring you together, that's a beautiful union that you share with God. So just think about it, brother and sister. This is a big picture. Brother, when you spend the time with your woman, guess what? The Lord's presence is there. So it's you, brother. It's you, and it's the woman and God. Sister, just think about this. It's bigger than you and the man. It's you, it's the man, and it's God. That's a beautiful thing to be at home. Brother, God and the woman. Sister, God and the man. And just think about it. When a person really is in love with you, my brother and sister, that man or that woman will make quality time with you. He or she will not be making up excuses. If you are single right now, my brothers and sisters, you got to understand this, that your time is very, very important. My single brother, you cannot allow a woman to mess with your time. It's very important. My single sisters, how you doing, Casper on that? Welcome to the dinner table. My single sister, you cannot let a man waste your time, because you got to understand, you cannot get back 1 second of time. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, Eastern Standard Time, it is 8:07 p.m. Soon it's going to be 8:08. What I have not said to you at 8:07, but we get to 8:08. I can't change nothing back to 8:08. I mean 8:07. It's gone. I cannot recoup anything. Everything that had happened today, I cannot change it. Brothers and sisters, everything that have happened today, you cannot change it. You're living in the presence. Everything you live this way, my brother and sister. You have a past, you have a present, and you have a future. Right now, as I speak to you, my brother and sister, we are in the present. And time keep ticking. Tick, 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 tick. So when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, listen to me carefully. You, my brother, and you, my sister, you are free agents. If you're not in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship, you are a free agent. A free agent is not bound to anyone. You understand that, my brother and sister? If you're not in a serious, committed relationship, and when I say committed, you, brother, you should take the lead. If you tell a woman that you're serious and in a committed relationship with her, you need to get to the commitment part quick and in a hurry. Sister, the same thing. If a man come to you and you say you love him and everything, and you think and you tell him that you off the market, and that man come to you, you need to do it with the quickness. Now, why did I say that? Now, when it comes, remember, you cannot get back time. Brothers and sisters, there's a lot of men and women, especially men, it's sad to say, you like to drag when it comes to a relationship. You like to drag. Why are you dragging? Why are you fearful of the unknown? You're supposed to live the present. Even Jesus said that. You're supposed to live the present because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But you can prepare for tomorrow, but it's not no guarantee. You understand? It's not a guarantee. Let's look at some ants. The ants. You know what? Ants got more sense than some men and women. You know that? Some ants. When you go look, just go and observe ants without messing with them. Don't mess with them if they ain't messing with you. They just working. Ants do not play. If you see ants, they are focused. Ants are focused. What do the ants do? The ants are preparing. Every time you see ants, they are preparing. They always taking stuff. They'll go out, get something, and then bring it home to the queen. Thank you, Brother Castle. They bring it home. They do not waste time. Even if you try to mess with ants, if you try to put a stumbling block in their way, they'll go around the stumbling block to reach their agenda. So, brother, you're supposed to be thinking like an ant. When you go out, you're supposed to go out and get it and bring it back, but that's going to benefit your home. The Lord and that woman, your wife, and if you got children. So, brother, you're focused. And that's the same thing too, sister. You got to be focused too. It's the Lord, your husband, and your children. Brother, you got to think like an ant. Sister, you got to think like an ant. You got to be focused on what's going on in the home. Once you mess up the home, what do you have? Like I said, what Dorothy, even though Dorothy went to Oz, she went to a fantasy land, Oz. But even though she was in Oz, Dorothy wanted to go back where? She wanted to go back to Kansas. She wanted to go back home. What was at home? Love. How you doing, Brother Joe? Welcome to the dinner table. Love is in the home. Where the Lord is at, that's where love is at. That's where real love is at. When the Lord is there, brother, and you got a good woman, sister, when you got a good man and the Lord is there, that's love. Let me tell you something. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Time is more important than money. But don't get me wrong, you need money. But time is more important than money. Brother, let me tell you this. Your woman, a good woman, she's not going to put you in a position to take time away from her. What do I mean by that? Brother, if you have a good woman, she's not going to put you in a situation. Let's say, for example, I have used it before. Say, for example, brother, you living in a modest home. You might be living in an apartment, right? You may. But wherever you at, brother, it's your home, especially when you got a good woman. Now, a good woman, she's not going to put you in a position to move on the other side of town trying to flex. If she's not going to put you in a position to take time away from her and especially the children, she's not going to do that. Oh, yeah, she may have a desire to move across town, but if you got a job and you're taking care of your home, you're able to spend quality time with your wife, you've got quality time to spend with your children. Just look at this picture, bro. Look at the picture. The Lord give you a good job. When the Lord give you a good job, the job that you have, you use that to meet the needs of your family, right? And not only are you meeting the needs of your family, just think about it. You can spend quality time with your wife. If you got little children, let's say your little boy want to play recreational football or basketball. You could take time to be with him. You could take him to practice and you could show up to the games. Let's say, brother, you got a daughter and she a recital or whatever, right? A recital, or she's a dance or whatever. You got time to be there for her. Don't you know, brother, your son, if you show up at a game for your son, he's going to remember it. If you show up to a recital for your daughter, she's going to remember that. But if you put yourself in a situation where you got to have 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. Now, I know some people, they have to work more than one job. Let me tell you this, my brother and sister, some years ago, I used to work 2 jobs. And let me tell you this. When I used to go to work, I used to be at one of my jobs. I had to be at 6:30 in the morning. Now, they were not hard jobs. Now, they were not physical demanding on me. It wasn't physical demanding on me. And then I leave that job and I go immediately to another job. So I had like an hour, possibly 2 between jobs. And I did that for some years, right? I did that for some years. So sometime I didn't get home to about 10:30. So from 6:30 in the morning to 10:30. Did that for years, right? And then one day I was at my job, right? I was at my job. I could tell you where I was at. I used to work in the courts, and I used to work in Parks and Rec a long time ago, right? So I was at my Park and Rec job, right? It was a Saturday. I was sitting outside, and it was softball season, right? It was softball season. So I'm sitting out there, and I'm looking at these parents taking their children out the cars, and they was at the game. And when they were getting out the cars, brothers and sisters, when they were getting out the cars, they had a smile on their face, right? They had time for the children, right? They had smiles on their face. So you know what I said? A light finally went off, and I said to myself, am I working to live, or am I working to live, or am I living to work? You understand? Am I working to live, or am I living to work? I was not working to live. I was living to work. So I had to make up my mind. I had to pull myself out of that situation. And I said, the most important thing is to get the needs met first, and when the wants come, they will come. Because they will take away what is called quality time. So what I'm saying, sister, listen, if you got a good man, and this man is able, you and this man and the family, you all are able to worship God together, that's precious. If you and that man have date night, or you can have Netflix and chill and stuff, and then you do stuff with the children, that's good. But if you get this man to try to make you happy, and he go buy this big old house, which means that he got to get an extra job and take time away from you, sister, and your children. And you know what's going to happen? If he does that and you get this big house on the other side of town, what's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. It's just like buying a new car. When the new car smell go out, you're going to get used to that big house, that pretty house that you got in your mind. You going to say, I'm not happy. Because he's going to notice a change in you. And you're going to say, I'm not happy. And then he's going to say, why are you not happy? You know what you're going to end up saying? Because you work all the time. You used to spend time with me. We used to go out together. You used to take little Johnny to the football games. And you used to go to the recital and watch little Tiffany. But you don't have time for your children. And then he's going to say, look, woman, you wanted to move cross town to flex. And I'm working the extra job because you wanted a house. So that's why I'm working the extra job. And now you complaining that you're not happy. That's what happened to a lot of homes, my brothers and sisters. That's when a lot of stuff break down, and that's when a whole bunch of stuff break down. The woman, she may say she's not happy, and next thing you know, she got her boyfriend because her husband is not home. And vice versa. Brother, is she out there doing some stuff? When I say doing some stuff, she got to do all this extra stuff to get stuff where it is not necessary. Let me tell you something, my brother and sister. Sister Angie B said, my ex-husband was living to work back in the day, had no quality time for our son, never went to enter his game, committed adultery with and married a street woman. You right, Sister Angie B. That's how it go down. You all listen to look at what Sister Angie B said. My ex-husband was living to work. You see, he was not working to live. And he had no quality time with Sister Angie B. And then He got out there in the street with a street woman. And stuff like that goes down. Brother, let me tell you this. One of the greatest gifts after your relationship with Christ, my brother, when it comes to your woman, give her time. If you have a good woman, brother, you don't have to spoil her. You don't have to spoil a good woman, brother. You know why? Because you're going to be doing a whole bunch. I always say that you're going to be doing a whole just because you. You won't look at it as spoiling. You would do extra things for that woman. Sister Angie B said, my son would never forget that. You see, Sister Angie B, she verified what I said. They don't forget that stuff. And they would throw it up in your face eventually, brothers and sisters. Because some of you sisters, you do the same thing. You don't spend time with your children, and they're going to remember the same stuff. So, brother, if you got a good woman, you don't have to spoil her. A good woman is not going to put you in a bind. They won't do it. A worldly woman will put you in a bind, brother. Worldly women put you in a bind. And then they always say, I'm not happy. They always say it. I always say I ain't happy. So let me tell you a thing, brother. If you spend time at home with your woman, learn some of the things she like to do. Learn some of the things she like to do. Even though you don't like it. From the beginning, you did not like it. I'm going to tell you something. When my wife could be in another room looking at the TV, right? And I could walk in the room. I could be in another room looking at another TV. So I could walk in the room where she at, and she looking at something, right? And I say, what is that you looking at? And she'll tell me. And then she said, you want to look at it with me? And I said, even initially, I might not want to call. Initially, it didn't look interesting to me, right? So I have to get out of me, myself, and I, and then I would start looking at the show with her, right? And guess what? Some of that stuff that where's she at? Yeah, some of the stuff that she liked, I have started liking it. I didn't have no interest in it at the beginning. I didn't have no interest. Brother Joe said, that's right. I'm not happy about my home and the woman that you have. So initially, I wasn't interested in it. But when I started looking at some of the stuff she looked at, I started getting interested in it. You know what I mean? So while I'm interested in some of the stuff she liked, our rapport in our relationships start strengthening. And if I'm in another room sometime, I could be looking at some. She might not be too much into it. Then she'll come and she'll say, what you looking at? Or we could go somewhere like the movie. She'll say something like, what we going to see? And I might tell her. She might not be interested in it, but guess what? She still go along with me. It's not because we going to the movie. It's the time we spending together. You understand? It's the quality time. I would rather be at home than be out in the streets. She would rather be at home than in the streets. Now, she got her girlfriend. She hang with her girlfriend every now and then. Yeah, that one right there. She got some friends, but she spend time with them every now and then, not all the time. She might have been in the street when she was young or whatever, but she don't be in the street since we've been together. But she probably was before, and I know I was. So when she come home, she really don't want to go nowhere unless I want to go somewhere. She prefer to stay at home. That's how she is. She prefer, brother, if you got a woman that like to stay at home and she could find stuff to do at home and she want you to stay home so y'all can spend time together, you got a gem. And sister, if you have a man that he likes to spend quality time with you, yeah, he might spend time with some of his friends every now and then. Like me, for example, it's football season, okay? And my boy, he would get some tickets and we be sitting up in the box, you know, the box where you live in lodge and stuff, where you be eating all that good food, and you up there real high at the football game, and you can see the football game, you can see the men out there running on the field, and you got the big TVs and stuff up there, and we be eating good and everything. You see, like he would say, Tony, you want to go to the game this weekend? And you know what I say? I say, yeah, I would like to go, but let me get with Cinderella first. He don't never say you hen pet. Now that's a friend, brother. He don't say you hen pet, and he doesn't say you blank whoop or you hen pet. He never say that. He would say, yeah, brother, I understand. You know why he understand? Because he got a wife too. And let me tell you this, brother, hang with men that you got something in common with. You understand? Be with men, brother, that you got something in common with. The same thing, sister. Be in company of women that you have something in common with. When I say in common, I mean positive things. Because if you were a group of people, my brother and sister, and they doing some negative stuff, you going to be influenced. You all know the saying, birds of a feather flock together. That's what's going to happen. Let me tell you this, sister, if a man come home and he got some friends and he tell you his friend like running women and all that kind of stuff, your question to him is, why you want to hang with them? And if he act like he don't do stuff like that, why you want to hang with them? Because you see, if he hang with men that like to run women and stuff like that and doing all that negative stuff, he doing some. He's doing some, sister. And another thing too, brother, if she come home and tell you, yeah, my girlfriend, she running men's and all that kind of stuff, and they be playing men, they be getting their money and all that kind of stuff. Your question to her is, well, why are you hanging with her? Because she doing something. You understand? People do not hang together unless they got something in common. Believe that, my brothers and sisters. They said birds of a feather what? Flock together. You never see chickens and eagles hanging together. Eagles fly high and look low. The only time an eagle gonna come down is to get some groceries and go back up. You're not gonna see eagles walk around with chickens. And you definitely don't see no chickens up there with no eagles. You follow what I'm saying? Brother and sister, be careful of the company you keep. Be extremely careful. Even the Bible tells us that, brothers and sisters, about the company you keep. Because your friends can corrupt you. You understand that, my brother and sister? Your friends, if they're not following the Lord, they can corrupt you. You don't have that much strength, my brother and sister. You don't have that much strength. Don't play with fire. What did Yogi Bear say? Yogi Bear said, do not play with fire. It don't take but one spark to bring a forest down. Yes, my brother and my sister, you got to get to the point, my brother and sister, where when you're in a relationship, you got to leave a lot of that negative stuff out there in the streets. Whatever you used to do in your day, that was your day during that time. It comes a time, my brother and sister, when you have to have maturity. You have to grow. Even if you have to cut off some of your friends, that you used to hang around with? What's more important, brother, that woman that's in your home or those men out there in the streets? Let me tell you something, brother. If you get falsely arrested, listen to this. If you get falsely arrested, listen, Are your friends in the street gonna come put some money on your books to your butt get out of jail, or that woman in your home? If you get sick, brother, who's gonna wipe your behind? Is it going to be your friends in the street or that woman in your home? Even though you be stinking, who gonna clean your butt? She will clean your butt before your friends. Know the difference. Sister, who's going to help you? Who's going to help you, sister? Who's going to listen to you when you really need to be listened to? You don't want to hear your girlfriend just talking about a whole bunch of nonsense and you hurting. You want to go to your man to really open up and talk to him. There's not one woman that would not want to have a deep conversation with her man instead of having to go to her girlfriend or her mama. She would prefer going to her man to open up. That's what the home for. Home is unity. Home is joy. Home is peace. You single brothers and sisters, if you out there and you desire to be in a relationship, you got to cut these people out pronto. If these people do not, or if they're not on the same road that you're on, they're going to waste your time. They're going to waste your time, my brothers and sisters. Listen to this, my single brother and sister. If you are talking to someone and he or she hanging in the streets and they don't understand, they don't understand the concept of quality time, you know what you need to do? You need to have a plan B. You know why you need to have a plan B, my single brother and sister? Because you're a free agent. You're not in no committed relationship with it. When you get to a committed relationship, that's what you call engaged. You're betrothed. So you could say you serious with a person, but if you're not in that commitment state, a commitment means betrothed or engaged. That's what commitment is. If you're not betrothed or engaged, you're not committed. Let's cut out the charade tonight. You're not committed. You're playing a relationship. Brother, you are playing in a relationship. How you doing, Abundance 369? You are playing like you're in a relationship. You're playing house, brother, sister. You're playing house. It doesn't, and I always say that it doesn't take men long to decide whether or not he want to marry you or not. It doesn't take us that long. We know how far we want to go with you, sisters. We know it. And you, sister and brother, they know how far they want to go with you too. But definitely, since the man and leader, brother, you lead in the relationship. If you're serious about a woman, brother, you're supposed to let her know straight up what it is. Do not put no, and this is another thing what you sisters mess up on. You do not get a clear definition of what type of relationship you're in. You think you're in a relationship, but he did not say you're in a relationship. You think it because you're playing house. You're playing a part of a wife. So you allow this guy to call you wifey. And you call him husband, and then your family and friend, they think y'all got a relationship. You ain't got no relationship if you're not committed. And commitment is when you say, we going to do this. We got a goal. And that goal is serious, committed, and covenant. That's how God want to be. God don't want no man or no woman to be boyfriends and girlfriend. There's nowhere in the Bible where God endorsed girlfriend, boyfriend. Now you prove me wrong that God will put the stamp of approval on girlfriend and boyfriend. Just show me somewhere in the Bible. We all want to know. We'll wait at the dinner table. You go, you tell us where you got your source from. We don't want your opinion. We don't want your opinions here tonight. We want to see the source in the Bible. We don't want to know from no other or no other source. We want to know from the Bible whether or not God view boyfriend and girlfriend as a legitimate relationship. Girlfriend and boyfriend, that's for little children. Sister, you got to understand that why he don't want to go all the way with you, but he would take you to bed. He would take you to bed. Brother, she would take your money without the honey. She would take your money, but y'all playing house. You got to get serious, my brother and sister, and do this. Sister Cheryl said, no approval on girlfriend or boyfriend. It's no approval. That's right. I endorse this message. I'm not running for office, but I approve that message, Sharon. When you brothers and sisters, some of you are right now, you single brothers and sisters, listen to me. Plan B. If this man or woman is stringing you along and wasting your time, you got to get to the point. This man or woman, they wasting my time. They like to be out there in the streets. That's why you brothers and sisters, you need a plan B. Let me tell you all what plan B means. Plan B is defined as an alternative plan of action for use if the original plan should fail. Listen again. How you doing, Sister Brenda Thompson? Plan B is an alternative plan of action used if the original plan failed. That's like this, brother. If this woman, you interested in this woman, sister, you're interested in this man, you let this man and woman know your intent. Look, I want to be serious. I want to get committed, and I want to move toward the covenant relationship because that's all God recognizes. If they can't get with the program, go to plan B. Because let me tell you something, my brother and sister, the sun does not rise on not one man or not one woman. There's always somebody that's better than what you think. So, brother and sister, you got to look beyond that person that's wasting your time. You might think subconsciously that there's nobody, sister, better than that man. Brother, you might think subconsciously that there's nobody better than that woman. I tell you what, brother, when God called you to find the right woman, I tell you what, sister, when God called the right man to find you, all those people in your past, you're going to thank God and say, thank you, God. What did I see in that man? What did I see in that woman? He or she, only thing I did was learn something from them. I learned not to go that one before. Let me tell you this, my brother and sister. Let me tell you this. When God put the right person in you, you going to go back in time. You all remember Minnie Riperton. You all remember Minnie Riperton. She had a song called Back Down Memory Lane. This is what you're going to do mentally. Listen to what I'm saying. When God brings the right person into your life and you're at home, your mind, because you're a human, it's going to go down memory lane. You might be somewhere in public, right? And you may see somebody that you used to deal with from the past. You know what's going to come to your mind? Very quickly, a whole bunch of stuff going to run through your mind in a very quick time. And let me tell you, my brother and sister, some of those men that you used to deal with, guess what? They doing the same thing. They ain't gone nowhere. Brother, some of those women that you used to deal with, they ain't gone nowhere. They stuck in time. They in a time capsule. They ain't going nowhere. They don't have vision. They don't have purpose. And then you're going to look and say, I wasted what did I see? So then what you're going to say, what did I see in him? That's what you're going to do. You're going to bet your eye like this, sister. What did I see in him? And brother, you're going to be doing like this. What did I see? What did I see in her? Sister B said, I see them now like What did I see in the old men? Wasted many years and many tears. That's what you are, brothers and sisters. You wasted many years and many tears. When God put the right person in your life, guess what? You're gonna thank God. You're gonna say, God, thank you. I could have been here a long time ago if I would have done it your way. That's what you'll say, brothers and sisters. If I would have done it your way, God, it could have been sooner. And it's a possibility that I could have met that man and woman years ago. That's what you'll be thinking, my brothers. Because remember the story about the children of Israel, right? When they crossed the Red Sea, they were walking around in the wilderness for 40 years, but it would have took 11 days to get to the promised land. So why am I using that illustration? A lot of you brothers and sisters, you were just like me. You were walking in your own wilderness for many years. But when you came to yourself and you said, I'm going to do it God's way, and then when you get it God's way, then God going to take you to your promised land. Do you understand, my brothers and sisters? So as of tonight, stop wasting your time. If you're in a relationship, why are you hanging in the street? Ask yourself that tonight. Why are you hanging in the street? And let me tell you, some of you brothers and sisters right now, some of you single brothers and sisters, listen. Some of those men and women, brothers, some of those men that you hanging with, that's going in the wilderness for 40 years and you with them, you're gonna have to get off the merry-go-round, brothers. Sisters, some of those women that you hanging with, you got to get off the roller coaster. It's time to get off those rides. It's fun when you go to the amusement park. It may be fun going on the roller coaster and stuff. It may be fun, but it's just a temporary thrill. It was fun for the moment. Some of you brothers and sisters, it was fun for the moment. You may have to redirect your life, my brother and sister. You may have to cut down on your friends and even some of your family members, because if you in God, you got a purpose anyway. Many are called, but few are chosen. Many go the broad way, but few, the narrow few, go on that narrow road. Brother and sister, you need to be narrow-minded. If a man or woman say you narrow-minded, you say you doggone right, I'm narrow-minded. I'd rather be narrow-minded than broad away. Because if you listen to your friends or some of your family, they will say, everybody doing it. Why are you too good to do that? And you say, yep, I am. Because if you know this about fish, the salmons, they swim against the current. But most fish, they swim with the current. If you are a Christian, my brother and sister, you got to go against the current, the way how things are. You may be called arrogant. You may be called that you think you somebody. Yeah, you are somebody. You're a child of God, my brother and sister. Brother, you're a son of God. Sister, you're a daughter of God. Yes, you are somebody. The world is not your home, my brothers. The world is not your home, my sister. Why are you here, brother? And why are you here, sister? You have a projected 70 years of life. According to the Bible, 70. You may make it to 70. You may not. But you got an average life expectancy. Don't think about what the United States or census and all that stuff say. According to God's word, it's 70. 70 years. You may make it, you may not, but that's your life, the average life expectancy according to the Bible. So if you're already in your 30s and 40s now, and you dealing with someone and they've been wasting your time, guess what? If you're in your 30s right now and 40, those years gonna go by quick. If you 40, those years gonna go by quick. If you're 50, they're gonna go by quicker. If you're 60, real quick. And then you're gonna be sitting in your rocking chair. looking at TV by yourself. Because the older you get, you're going to notice that, my brother and sister, although friend that you used to hang around with, the older you get, they're going to die off. They're going to die off. And you're going to wish your telephone ring. If you ain't got nobody, your phone going to go silent. Just think about this, if no one don't even come and talk to you. Just think about this, no one even texts you. Wouldn't it be better? Just like Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 say, it said 2 are better than 1. That's what God's word say. It said 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he's not alone to help up. Case in point, you all see how bad this economy is, right? You see how bad this economy. Let's think about economics. My brother and sister, if you are in a good relationship with someone, right? Let's say, for example, one of you get laid off. Let's say one of you get laid off and you ain't got no other source of income. If one of y'all bring the income, you still got some income coming in because ain't no telling when you're going to get unemployment insurance. You follow what I'm saying? How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Welcome to the dinner table. Do you understand what I'm saying? What if one of you gets sick? You got someone. You got someone. What if somebody come up against you, brother or sister? Somebody come pick at your woman, brother. It's you and your woman on that person. Or sister, somebody come on your man. It's you and your man against that person. Because the Bible say, and if one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him, and a 3-fold cord is not quickly broken. The Bible even say this in Ecclesiastes 4:11. It say again, if 2 lie together, that means you lay down in the bed and your electric company cut off your lights because it's about to get wintertime and they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? Have you ever noticed this, my brother and sister? Let's say if you're married and your mate is in the bed and you go get in, let's say your mate get up and go to the restroom and you get in the bed. If you touch your mate's spot, the spot is warm, right? Just think about it. It's warm. When 2 people are together, that's heat. Animals even know that. If you look at the animal kingdom stuff, when it's cold and stuff out there, like the penguins and stuff, if you look at them, they all gather together. Animals got that kind of scent. They get together because it's warm. So, brothers and sisters, do not, if you got a good man or woman, take this with you. Stop hanging in the streets. That person that love you, my brother and sister. Yeah, my mother said, I always think about a great man and provider your daddy was. They're right, mother. He was good. He was good. But let me tell you, my brother and sister, listen carefully. That stuff out in the streets, if you got a good relationship, my brother and sister, somebody gonna challenge your relationship. Brother, is some man out there that's gonna come after your woman. Don't be surprised. Somebody coming for your woman. Sister, don't be surprised somebody coming for your man. Satan gonna use, brother, listen, if you got a good woman, Satan gonna use a man. He's gonna get inside that man, or one of his demons gonna get inside that man, and they're gonna approach your woman. It's bigger than that man. You got to understand that. Sister, if a woman come after your man like that, you got to understand this. Satan or a demon may get inside that woman and try to pull her out of the home. You see, Satan is about killing, stealing, and destroying. So he will use some of these people and they do not know it. Sister Cynthia say, we laugh at people like that. Thank you, Sister T. Smith. So you got to understand that the picture is bigger, my brother and sister. What's out there in the streets? Nothing, brother and sister, take it from me. I have been in the streets before. In my younger days, it's nothing out there. Let me tell you, when I was out there in the street, my brother and sister, I would get in my car after whatever is over with. I would get in my car and I drive home. That before I got married to that young lady there, I would get in my car and drive home, and I felt empty. No, whatever I did in the street, I still felt empty. And that's how some of you brothers and sisters, you're going to feel empty because it's nothing out there good. Nothing in the streets good. You could stay home if you want something. Turn on the news if you want to look at what's going on the street. You ain't got the experience, just turn on the news. If you want entertainment, turn on the news or whatever so you can get or look at one of those movie channels so you can get your entertainment about the street. But you stay home. A lot of people, listen to what I'm saying. A lot of people, Sister Cindy said, mess in the street. That's right. A lot of people that's in the street that can't stay home, listen up. They are not happy. Some of you brothers and sisters, you see people on social media, right? They seem like they got a good life, right? You see them going different places, right? They pop here in this city. They pop here in this city. And they might have a glass with some wine or something in it. This ain't wine, by the way, this water. And they want them to seem like they living the life. A lot of people, my brother and sister, that you see on social media that take a whole bunch of pictures and they be at different places. And they are not happy. It's a front. You could tell it's a front. If you got discernment, you're not envious of what they're doing, but you could see that they're not happy. Because one thing, they're missing Jesus in their life. They may say they know Jesus, but they're not. They know about him. Jesus don't like people in the street unless they're doing something for him. That's preaching the gospel. That's the only reason why Jesus would travel the street. It's about the gospel and the soul. These people that be out there and stuff, they ain't going, a lot of them ain't going trying to save no souls. They looking for something to fill that empty void on the inside of them. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you this. If you like to stay home, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't let nobody tell you that you got a boring life. Just because you stay at home, that don't mean that you got a boring life. The people that tell you that, they got a boring life. They're always out there in the street. They got a boring life. They looking for something. They missing something. Brothers and sisters, you could be at home and you could read a good book and you can entertain yourself because you ain't got to deal with all that foolishness. But when God put a good person in your life, that's right, Sister Angie B. Empty soul. When God placed a good person in your life, and let me tell you this, my brother and sister, brother, there is a woman out there. If you have a desire for a woman, this is the key. Just delight in the Lord, and he's going to give you the desires of your heart. The same thing, sister. If you desire to be in a relationship with a man, delight in the Lord, and he's going to give you the desires in his heart. But you got to understand it, my brother and sister, in God's time. When I was ready to get out the street, I thought I already got the streets. And I prayed for God for the right woman. It took me 5 years before I found that one. 5 years. I wanted God to answer my prayer just like that. You know what God, when I look back, God said, you ain't ready. God said, you ain't ready for no woman, no real woman. You ain't ready. I'm thinking 5 years before I met her, I was ready. That's what I was thinking. I was ready. I wasn't ready. When I look back, I wasn't ready. I said it, but then I was ready. So what I was doing? I was still out there dating and stuff like that. I was dating, but I was empty, my brothers and sisters. The women, they could have been looking good. They could have been looking fine and all that. But when I look at some of those women, they might look good. They might have been fine. But what was on the inside of those women? Not all of them, but what was on the inside of them? Nothing. You know, it's something when you around a woman that look good and fine, and she can't think. She can't think, and she don't know what to talk. The only thing she could talk about is the housewives of Atlanta, the housewives of New York, and all that crazy foolishness. What you don't know, those people are actors and actresses. They walk around with mics on. They know a camera on them. So what they're going to do? Drama. And a lot of these women, they believe that drama stuff, what they see. You cannot carry on a intellectual conversation with me. Stimulate my mind instead of stimulating my loins. Some women, they want to stimulate your loins instead of stimulate your wine. After you stimulate a man's loins, what else do you have? What else do you have? Next. Brothers, sisters, don't hang in the streets. You're not part of that stuff anyway, brother, sister. You are a child of God. God pulled you out of the world. He cleansed you through the blood of his son, Jesus Christ. So when God pulled you out of the world or out of the streets, you are a new creation. So you're in the world, but you're not of the world. God changed you. He gave you a new heart. Some of those people that you used to hang around with, they're gonna see that they're gonna think you weird. They're gonna say, you used to do this. You're gonna notice that, my brothers and sisters, some of those people that you're gonna hang with, they'll leave you sometime. You ain't got to leave them. They'll leave you. When God started changing you, you're gonna lose some friends. Listen to me, my brothers and sisters. Some of those people that you used to hang with, when you in the Lord, you going to lose some of those people that you think your friend. You would think that they happy that you are in the Lord. They're not happy. You're going to notice they're not going to call you too much. You're going to notice that they're not going to hang out too much. You're going to notice that they're going to still be doing that same old crap. But you don't want it no more. You out the streets. God going to take care of you. Brothers and sisters, is nothing more sweeter than when God placed a person in your life and you just want to kick back, something simple, very simple. Just look, and you all know the proverbial Nick, flick, and chill. You all sitting there together, you holding hand, you talking, you enjoying yourself. Baby, baby, baby. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like peace. God could do it through his son Jesus. Listen, God could do it through his son Jesus. Don't hang in the street. God pulled you out of the world, but while you here, you move in the world. You're not of the world. You're not of this system. You're not hanging out there in the world. You're not a part of the world. Even though you live in the world, you're not a part of it. You got a new lifestyle, my brother, sister. It's just beginning. Your life just beginning until the Lord Jesus comes. My brother and sister, tomorrow, Lord willing, I got something that I want to talk to you all about. It was a topic that I was going to talk about today. Let me tell you what, and I changed my mind. But tomorrow, I'm planning on talking about this. Let me tell you what I'm going to talk about. What happens when you steal another man or woman spouse. You don't want to miss that at the dinner table. What happens when you steal another man or woman spouse? I'm going to say that again. What happens? The key word, happens. What happens when you steal, another key word, another man or woman's spouse? You want to be at the dinner table tomorrow for that one, okay? Thank you, brothers and sisters. Those of you down on the book, like and share and make your comments. Those of you down on the tube, if you're not a subscriber, hit that notification button. I mean that subscribe button, then the notification button, like and make comments. But you're going to be in for a treat tomorrow. Call some of you, when you come in tomorrow, let's talk again. And I appreciate you all, brother, when you all communicate with me during the broadcast and you communicate with one another, because we family here, okay? Share it with your family friend. Thank you so much, brother, and thank you so much, sister, for being here tonight. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. Peace out. Oh, by the way, take some of that soul food away from you. From me. I'm going to clean up the kitchen. So you just take the carry out place, and your brother Tony, he'll clean up the dinner table in the kitchen. Peace out. I love you, brothers and sisters.